Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Nisi. I hope you like my new environment though. Yeah, so if this is your first time on my channel, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, like and comment. And this video is going to be very engaging, and I would really appreciate it if you guys can engage in the comment section below. Today's topic is going to be about the pressure that we all face in our communities as different races, different tribes, and all of that. So I put together a few of my friends to share their experiences, the pressures they go through, and it's very interesting. I hope you stick around to the end so you can watch and learn something. So the purpose of this video basically is for each of us to see that you're not alone. Like, if you're feeling like you come from your background, you're being pressured, you're going through a lot, you're not alone. There are other people from different communities. So it doesn't matter the color of your skin, the continent you are from, everyone is going through different pressures. Okay, so basically my own part, coming from an African, in this part of the video I'm going to be sharing a few of the pressures I've experienced growing up. So growing up, like a female child's education, basically, it's not such a huge priority in Africa. Like, it just started getting pretty intense now, parents supporting their girl child to attain higher educational status. But initially, parents just want you to attend primary school, go to high school or secondary school, and after that, if you're able to make it to the university, fine. And they want you to start trying to get a man to get married to you. By the time you're in the university, 200 level, they're already asking you, hey, 200 level is your second year. Hey, when are you going to bring someone to come and, to introduce someone to us? When are you getting married? People start to ask you questions. So it's not more about how is school and whatnot. So right after how is school, what are you doing about marriage? And, they start putting pressure on you to have kids, immediately you get married, they don't give you a breather, they want you to have kids. And with education, there's so much pressure with attaining higher scores, because if you don't attain the score that will enable you to get into a proper federal university, everybody's going to tag you as a failure or as a dumb fuck. So you need to compete with your peers and try to hit your target so you can be able to go to a proper nice school that your parents would be proud of, feel like it's prestigious. In the African community, again, we love our African parents. I mean, we really love you, but geez, our African parents drove us crazy, because with discipline, it was almost as if they were competing with who could discipline their kids more. The flogging, geez, it was out of this world. Some parents will flog you until they see you bleeding. Some parents will flog you until they can leave bruises on your skin. It was horrible. And then they'll stop you from crying. And there was so much pressure. There's so much pressure with taking care of the family. You get married, they want to pressure you to look after your younger ones, pressure you to look after your parents. It's so much pressure that women even start to do the unthinkable, even put pressure on their spouses, because they want to be able to meet every need in the family, because they are being looked up to, especially if your African parents invested in your education or anything that concerns you. It's almost as if you're indebted to them, you owe them your life. So they want to push you to do things for them. It's you're paying them back. It doesn't feel as if, oh, I did this for my child. It feels like, oh, I did this for you to pay me back in the future. They don't want you to even take, if you have a career path in being a creative, an artist, anything that is not a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or like something very professional, they lose their shit and they're like, no, I don't want this, you're disgracing me, you're embarrassing me. They almost want to predict your path. It's just with civilization, some things are beginning to ease up, but not entirely. So basically, I know that these are some of the few things I could mention, and I would like, if so, hence I said it will be very interactive. If you have anything more to add to this, please, on the comment section, let's flood it with all the experiences. And we want to make this a big thing, to see how we can encourage each other to beat this pressure that we all face, because we're like this generation. Things are changing, things are tough. We can't do it on our own. We need to encourage each other, so we don't all think that the grass is greener on the other side, so yeah, I want us to engage, share your own experiences in the comment section below, how pressure has affected you, and and the kind of pressures you have to go through. I know on this video we focused mostly with women, but I'm working on something for the guys as well, so don't feel left out, okay? So we're going to post something soon from the perspective of a man, because this is mostly like a general thing, but mostly from the female perspective. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. Do not stop right here. Continue watching. You're going to see some very, very interesting videos from my friends from different parts of the world, and trust me, you're going to learn something new. So see you next time, and please stay till the end of the video. Well, thank you, honeys. Until next time, bye. Mwah.
Hi everyone, my name is Helena, and I'm here to back up my friend Misty, a beautiful woman, and to give you guys a lot of example of, as an Asian, what is the biggest pressure from no matter your family or your friends or the whole society. So my biggest pressure comes from mostly about the society, not my family. This is like the second one. So as you all know, as a Chinese, there are a lot of people in China mainland, in Hong Kong and Macau. So we basically face a huge competition when we were born. It's like there are about 100 people to competition for one position, for nearly one position, this kind of situation. And so from very young age, we bore a lot of pressure. We have to go to a lot of courses. We have to study until the midnight. Since I was in primary school or I was in high school, I study almost 10 to 12 hours a day, and I still need to learn some other things from arts and literature. For example, I learn some instruments like drums and cello, and some of my friends, they learn other music and arts to make sure that they have a good future or they have a good career, which is diversity, which is as good as the parents expected. And the second one is that I got a lot of pressure from my family. For example, they don't allow me to be a lesbian, or they don't allow me to marry with a guy which I like but they don't like. This kind of situation that always happened to Chinese family or the Asian family. So basically we need to marriage before my parents allowed, both. For example, if I want marriage to a guy, my parents and his parents will be both allowed at first, and then we will get married. And so the final part is that I want to say the pressure from the peer, or it's called like involution society or involution situation. It means that we need to work so hard, like a long times, which is very crazy hours or which is very unhealthy hours to get the things that was happened before. For example, some young generation or like teenagers, they would like to work in the tech companies in China, which called like Alibaba or Huawei or Tencent, which is they will offer them like a good welfare, like a good salary or something like that. But at the same time, they need to work 80 to 90 hours a week to get the things that you only need to like 60 to 50 hours before. That is quite unhealthy or abnormal, but because of its huge competition and because of we face like a lot of people, huge popularity, so it pushes them to against like this. So I think this is like pressure both from the peers and from the society. Until now, we haven't found a right way or a very clear resolution to resolve this kind of things happen, no matter in China or no matter in Asian society. So that's how I wish my expression would help you a lot. Thank you.
Hello, I am Jovan Landry. I am a multidisciplinary artist based in Chicago, in America. And this video is about being pressured. And whether you're being pressured as a woman, being pressured to be a wife, whether you're being pressured in your career, pressured about certain people you should hang around. There's so many things to be pressured by. Personally, I've been pressured to have kids. And luckily, I'm very thankful to have a community of people that hasn't really pressured me to do too much. Of course, pressure to go to college and get a 9-to-5 job and all those things. And at the end of the day, I just did what worked for me. And especially now, I'm in my 30s. And I feel like in this phase of life, you are your most confident self. It's like you're still young, but you have a lot of wisdom, right? And sometimes people don't really get to this realization until then, but your life is your life. You have to just, despite what people say, because a lot of that time it's their projections and that's their want that they may have wanted for themselves that they're trying to ask you to do or what they think is right. And granted, sometimes people think, I want the best for you. But again, it's their want. It's not your want. I do believe that you should have a plan and you should do things in the most authentic way and be your most authentic self in any decision that you make. But it is your choice at the end of the day. You still have to be smart about those decisions that you make. So as far as pressure with having kids, I'm being smart by thinking about, do I have the finances to raise a kid? Am I in the right environment to raise these kids? Am I at the mental capacity to raise these kids? And so I'm thinking smart when it comes to like the different pressures. When I was younger, I was pressured to dress a certain way. But the thing about it is that I'm not comfortable dressing all the time feminine. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But that's what makes me unique. That's what makes me who I am. My hair, I have natural hair. This is how my hair grows. But sometimes I'm pressured to have my hair straightened. But it's not healthy, So at the end of the day, people are so worried about controlling the other person based on what they deem as, success or approval or whatever the thing may be, right? Been pressured to not do music because my goal of being a music artist is not to be famous. But you know what? I love it anyway. So again, it's all about your perception and your authenticity in doing that thing. So, yeah, I've been pressured, but who hasn't been? It's just all about how you navigate that. And like I said, unfortunately, sometimes people have to wait or get into a certain age range to really be like, no, I'm setting this boundary that you're not going to control me in this way. But all I'll say is, if you're being pressured, just be yourself. If you're being pressured, take it with a grain of salt. Take the thing with a grain of salt. Because sometimes people really do have the best in mind. Some people really do care about you. Some people do really love you. And they're doing what they think is the best. But just use your discernment at the end of the day. Peace.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cecilia from France. I'm 32 years old and I'm here invited by Nisi. Shout out to her for inviting me to talk about pressure on women in France. So I've been thinking at it, and what I think it's very visible as a woman in France is that we never have very much choice for ourselves. What do I mean by that? Is that there is always a very, very big pressure of how we are, our performances, and any of our choices actually. What I mean is like, for a very typical cultural example is when we are kids. In France, there is a way where we greet each other as adults. Is called la bise, meaning is a way of kissing. Though we don't kiss each other out the mouth or very weird stuff like this. It's more we greet each other as we just this in the air to each other's cheek to cheek. It's not even our lips, it's touching. It's like this. So that's way of greeting each other is more, for example, women to women, women to men, but men to men, they shake each other's hands. When you are a kid and you are with your parents and your parents are meeting a family member or somebody they know, a friend or related, they ask you as a kid to greet, so automatically as a boy or as a girl, you are kissing the cheek of the adult. But things are changing when boys are becoming teenagers or on the way to be men. They are allowed to shake each other's hands as men, even there is still one that is younger and the other one that is older. But as women, as girls, even as teenager that is going to be a woman, we are still socially like kind of obliged or expected to kiss each other's face. What I mean by that is that it's like our personal space is not respected or our own self anymore. It means that we are expected to open our physical space into anybody that wants to greet us. Whereby men, when they are adults, are not expecting to do this at all anymore as when they were kids. So I think that this is a starting point to explain something that is very common in France. Is like whatever you do as a woman is always through the male or men perception. If I am a woman that take care of myself too much, I am superficial, or I'm also maybe like women that like men, and this is considered something very negative. Um, though if I am a man and I take care of myself and I like to seduce women, I would be a very what we call a Casanova, so a very seductor, charming man that women loves, and that's positive. Um, so it means that if I go in the street and I wear what I like as a woman, if I like to be sexy, to have a open chest or something that is giving my bum bum very beautiful shape, where you can see my my butt very well. Um, some men will think it's normal to come to me and start to flirt with me, or to suggest we shall have some sexual relationship, even if it's a completely stranger. He just come and think he's making me a compliment. And if I'm just like, no, just stay away. I'm not like this for yourself. So he said, so it's not to be seductive or to attract men that you're doing this. And it means that in their own mind, they feel that anything I do, anything I wear, where I want to feel a certain way, is also related directly to them and the satisfaction on their own desire. So that story, just to say that the pressure in France is very patriarchal, that women, they are always into the scale of satisfying the men desire or expectation. And I feel it's something that is very important to share. So thanks again to Nisi for giving me this opportunity to share about the pressure on women in France. And thank you so much, Nisi. Nothing else to add.
Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. I'm 26 years old. I'm based in Lima, Peru, and I'm an artist. I do music, I dance, I create poetry. I also ride bikes. I really love making music. I don't know, I really do a lot. Like many things. And shout out to Nisi, girl. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. The pressure that we got here from us to get married or have kids, have our own houses, buy a car, have like enough money to be independent and be an artist at the same time. So you have a lot of pressure. You know, you have to be thinking every day what you have to do.